Dear students, yesterday I have taught you jurisdiction of Supreme Court, original jurisdiction of Supreme Court and appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Today I'll explain judicial review of Supreme Court and advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Basically, two special topic will be taught by me today. First of all, I am going to explain judicial review. Very slow mode I will teach this topic because judicial review is very important topic and each and every individual should know this one. Very important topic is there. What do you mean by this judicial review? If any law has been made by any legislative assembly of the nation, if any law has been made by any legislative assembly of the nation that altered the spirit of the constitution will be declared null and void or ultra vires by the Supreme Court. This power is known as judicial review. In easy word, I am going to explain, then you people will be very comfortable. Suppose any law has been made by any legislative assembly, you know this one. Legislative assembly is a law making body like parliament, like state legislative assembly. Law making body, legislative means law making body, has made a law according to the constitution, according to the spirit of the constitution, then no issue. Judiciary will not interfere. But suppose any legislative assembly has made the law, any law that altered the spirit of the constitution. Altered the spirit of the constitution means violate the spirit of the constitution. We can say, in other words, against the spirit of the constitution. In that circumstances, Supreme Court will declare that law null and void, means meaningless. One more point I would like to mention. If any legislative assembly has made law against the spirit of the constitution, then it will be declared null and void. One more point, if executive body implemented the law against the spirit of the constitution, then same work will be done by judiciary. This power is known as judicial review. Once more I am going to explain. If any law has been made by any legislative assembly of the nation or executive that altered the spirit of the constitution will be declared null and void by Supreme Court. This power is known as judicial review. I think my words are very much comfortable now. Next topic that is very important, advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. When you will see the topic name, advisory, suppose anybody is giving advice, meaning when Supreme Court will give advice to President of India, how you will write in examination? Please pay attention. If President of India will seek for any advice related to the public affairs or any other legal proceeding to Supreme Court, and when Supreme Court will advise to President of India, that power is known as advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. with reference to the advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. Suppose Supreme Court advised to President of India with reference to the any law. So that advice is not mandatory for the President of India, okay, to accept. Meaning, President can accept the advice, can reject the advice, both. Clear? Once again, I am going to repeat this topic. When President of India will seek for any advice to the Supreme Court, meaning if any constitutional matters are there or any legal matter is there, and President of India is going to ask for any advice from Supreme Court, and when Supreme Court will advise to President of India, that is known as advisory jurisdiction. Next point you can write second point, advice, that advice will be not considered as a verdict. And third point you can write, it is not mandatory for President of India to accept the respective advice given by Supreme Court. I think my words are very much comfortable now. So, with reference to the Indian judiciary, I have taught first topic, integrated judiciary, single integrated judiciary. Second topic I have taught jurisdiction. When judiciary will sort out the dispute by exercising the law will be known as jurisdiction. Third point I have taught you original jurisdiction, means when judiciary will sort out the dispute by exercising the law and enforce the law at first sight will be known as original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. 3 examples I have communicated in previous lecture. First one, interstate dispute or central state dispute, violation of the fundamental rights, and constitutional cases. I have taught this one. Next topic I have taught appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court. When an appeal has been accepted by Supreme Court against the verdict of any court of India, that is known as appellate jurisdiction of Supreme Court. I have also taught that Supreme Court can continue the verdict issued by lower court or can reject also, can change also, all power vested in the hand of the Supreme Court. And judicial review, just I have taught, when any legislative assembly of the nation that altered the spirit of the constitution, if any law has been made by any legislative assembly of the nation that altered the spirit of the constitution will be declared null and void by Supreme Court, that is known as judicial review. One more point I would like to mention here. Judiciary, Supreme Court is final interpreter of the constitution. Meaning, if any dispute will be there regarding any clauses of the constitution, then Supreme Court will explain the respective article, respective part, that will be final one. Means what explanation given by Supreme Court, that is a final. That's why Supreme Court is known as final interpreter of the constitution. And last point I have taught today, advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. When President of India will seek for any advice to the Supreme Court, regarding public affairs or any legal law, then when Supreme Court will advise to President of India, by that power is known as advisory jurisdiction of Supreme Court. In this one, 2 more points I have taught. कि respective advice will be not considered as a verdict, and it is not mandatory for the President of India to accept the verdict that has been given. I think all topics, whatever I have taught, my words are comfortable. One more point that is very necessary and I have not discussed, and within 2 minutes I would like to explain this one. Question is there, how President of India, how judges of the High Court and Supreme Court will be elected? In detailed manner I am not teaching, but your answer will be there by President of India. Judges of the High Court or judges of the Supreme Court or CJI, Chief Justice of India, all will be appointed by President of India. One more very, very relevant question is there. I would like to explain. You know this one. Chief Justice of High Court word have you listened. But Chief Justice of Supreme Court is not a word. Because India having single integrated judiciary means who will be the Chief Justice of Supreme Court will be known as CJI. CJI means Chief Justice of India, not Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Please pay attention to this word. Again I am going to repeat this one. Chief Justice of Supreme Court is not a word. Word is there, CJI. CJI means Chief Justice of India. Means who will be Chief Justice of India will be the Chief Justice of all judicial system of India. Today I'll conclude my lecture now, and next day I'll teach you how judges of the Supreme Court and High Court will be removed. The topic will be there, impeachment. What do you mean by impeachment? This topic will be discussed by me tomorrow. Okay, thank you beta, and tomorrow again I'll come with respective video that I have just announced. Thank you.